create something out of nothing, right? But we were in our middle school years during that time, pretty much. We were young, 13, 14, and we were advancing during that time to high school, right? But during that time, we already had a breaking club at our school, and we were leaders during that time. So all the leaders of the club the team was called Cycle Six because there was six leaders, and pretty much we didn't want to take that name, or we wanted to leave that legacy there for the middle school. So we all the leaders decided to create a new crew, and we didn't know where it was going to go or what to call it to, but we kind of just blabbered the name out. Someone said underground, and someone said flow, so we just kind of put those two words together, and now that's our name, underground flow. And but yeah, we started this with the goal of competing too, because we during that time we entered our first competition, and it was something that was mind blowing for us because we didn't know hip hop was like that or breaking was like that, and we were able to get the chance to discover the community, and we got a chance to meet some of the pioneer of breaking too, at the same time meet some of the we met some of the breakers that we saw in the VHS tape, and that was yeah. Around first certain time, we got Juro. People Juro was there. He would come to session with us, and yeah, we kind of expanded from there. So we started with Underground Flow as something that we was hoping just to create something new out of nothing during that time, and it kind of just flourished to where we are now. Yep. Short story.
Yeah, it was also because we were going to high school.
Yeah.
We wanted to create an official crew because we were like we needed to have each other's back, and during that time, we growing up during that time, not like a gang, but for like battles, call outs, right? So it was also like let's just create an official crew, and then we'll have our own group, and if anybody. If everybody want to test it, I got your back. So it was like that. It was like that transition. So, but as far as like thinking of where it was gonna go, we had no idea. We were just like, we just wanted to create something, a group. Like, we've been training together, and everything. If you guys are down, let's create a crew, and we did, and that was Underground Flow. And then we went to high school, and from there we were learning more about breaking, more about the dance, the culture, and it just continued to elevate and move on.
Yeah, and there was a time when it was just my brother and I representing the crew. So I guess there's hard time and good time too. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that from our experience, there was never a easy way going to where we are now. But it's one of those things where if you just keep going, you will eventually succeed, right? And I guess what I'm trying to say, like during that time when it was just my brother and I representing the crew and really going out there in a battle, we found other members that are like-minded, right? And from there, there's multiple times where we had to kind of restart, and sometimes restarting is actually okay to continue going, right? And we restarted with a lot of people. Like we got Manny Frost, we met Valpal, right? We met other crewmates from NorCal, and we met people in SoCal. We got people from Puerto Rico, right? We have people from yeah, but I'm just saying like it was never a smooth path, but that's the journey, and I think the journey is actually the most important part, right? And so I guess what I'm trying to say, like Underground Flow story, to make it short, it's still going, and we welcome all the bad and the goods. Yeah.
Yeah, so we were really a crew base, started from just kids. And now, like, to be able to look back and see those kids turn to adults, it's really special to us that they're still there. So I'm gonna move this question on to anyone who wants to answer this question. It's just the importance of true crew. And why do you think, what's the importance of true crews back in the day? And why is it important today? Anyone can answer. Yeah. Oh yeah, you just have to press.
Check.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Um, yeah, I've been a part of a crew. I've actually been, I was the creator of my crew, Style Elements, and crew definitely is so important to the community and to the culture because, you know, that circle that you like get into when your friends are around you and you get a perception from each one of them and from their stance. And when they really care about you, they're going, "Oh wow, I seen you do that move, but you should have did it to this, and then that the other guy's going, oh, I seen that too, and then so you get affirmation in real time correction of yourself and how to make yourself better. And it doesn't only stay on the floor like that, but that happens in life too. You know, with business, with friendship, with and it facilitates for more of that. We end up mentoring each other. A lot of us, like how you were talking about, you know, finding mentors in your crew, and we did that a lot for each other. And also, when you were lacking in some points where you were weak, your other brother was strong in that that realm. Like, say for instance, the power moves, or you know, I didn't have crazy power moves, but my bro did. You know what I mean? So it was like he would hold down the power, my other homeboy would hold down the flips, and then you know, Boogie T hold down the top rock and the footwork, and me, I was more like a style, abstract. You know, I will hold down that realm and kind of like be the antagonizer. You know what I mean? Be clowning and like you know doing freezes in their face and things like that. And so each one of us had like strong points, and we all helped each other. And we would call it, you know, Voltron when we would get together. That's what we would call it. We would be like, oh, "Are you guys ready to form Voltron?" Okay, yeah. You need the arm, the leg. You know, one guy's the kneecap. So yeah, so it's just like you know, building each other up, and it transcends to also where we have also women in our group too, and but we all you know help each other out and critique each other, and just want to see each other reach like our highest potential. So for sure, crews are very important to the whole. The crews made all of this whole culture. The crews made them. And you know, I know that the individuals celebrated a lot now with competitions and stuff, but you know, all these individuals were built by a crew. That's what I think.
Yeah, thank you. Is there any? Does anyone else want to talk a little bit about that, or how about Logan? Do you want to talk about like True Crew right now, maybe in the scene, or since we might touch more on like how it was back then?
Okay. I think it's different now because I don't think there's as much. The bond is different. I think the bond is built through um, a desire to achieve together instead of a desire to bond together and be there for each other as life like evolves. And I feel really blessed to have Underground Flow because honestly, they low key raised me, bro. Like they were there when my family couldn't be there. So I'm very blessed to have them. And you know, I have friends in the scene, and I've trained with people. I've been blessed to train with like my generation as well, and it's different because I think like in this era, I know I can speak for myself, and I think I could speak for others that are like in my generation in the scene, but I feel that there's a lot of pressure with social media, you know, with competitions, sponsorships, before, during, and after Olympics. And it kind of like affected the way that my generation views like what a crew is. Because I think there's like healthy competition with each other, like where we push each other, train, like battle each other, go rounds like at practice, or just push each other by, yeah, just challenging each other. But then there's also just like a line you don't cross, and I feel that it was. I'm assuming it was different before, but I think with now, um, there just has to be some type of way to show this generation like that when life hits, like the trophies really don't matter, and it's the people that are there for us, whether they're in dance or not. And so I really feel that, and I think I don't fault the people the younger people I've been around that like are closer to my age, and but I know that it's just like a different types of growing pains. Like, and so I think with Underground Flow, like you got, I'm the youngest member, right? You know, I know. um, yeah, I've been able to really learn like what's really important, you know, like, and yeah, it's hard. There's a lot of influence. There's a lot of like people in y'all's generation that don't promote the right things. I will say, and it's not to blame, but just to literally like say out loud, because yeah. And so I'm just like with Underground Flow, I'm like I need this crew, you know, and it's not crew, it's family. So yeah, I'm so emotional, but that's what I honestly feel about, or that's just honest words about it.
All right, thanks a lot. Now you have any? Oh, okay. So speaking about crew, I'm going to ask this question to Manny Frost right here. Can you just tell us your dream, Manny, how you got down with Underground Flow, and you know, like just real quick, like because I want everyone to also experience from another person's perspective, get down with the crew, right? So for me, it's like me and my brother, we kind of like created this, but we didn't really create anything. We just vibe with the people that we feel like were like us, right? So I wanted to hear, I wanted to share Manny's story to you guys, so you guys could see how it felt for someone to get down with our crew. So, Manny.
You're gonna put me in the spot. Practice my English for that.
You can speak
Hi. So like for me, like, so I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Puerto Rico. So I kind of have like a crew up there in the East Coast. I was the first instructor of breaking in Washington D.C. So it come at a point that I got bored in the East Coast because nobody would do nothing. So I just packed my car, mainly because I was seeing this brother right here, MPH, Star Element, Rock Force, Renegade, all of those people, you know, doing incredible stuff. So I moved to Torrance. Then I went to a club here and I met a girl called Tiffany. And Tiffany asked me if I wanted to be part of Corto Chocolate to an audition. And I went. But when I went to Corto Chocolate, I saw a line. It was like 300 dancers. And I would never choreo. I don't do choreo. So I went in, like, with no experience. I started trying to do the choreo. But then when they put the song into freestyle, nobody came out. Nobody was hitting the circle. So I was like, I just went out, I did my round, then I left. But then I can hear somebody calling, yo, you're quiet. And I look, where you going? I'm like, I didn't. No, you didn't. I'm like, I did what? Yeah, you got in. So I got in. I met Bapa. I met Bapa before I met Villain in Impact. And Bapa, with her hiking in her voice, hey, I want you to meet my boyfriend. Just like that. I was reflected and I was like, all right. So I went to a jam called All Out. And I met Villain and Impact. Villain was dreadlocks everywhere in the cypher. And I'm like, who's that? You know? Oh, that's my boyfriend over there. So that's how I met them. And the thing of Corto Chocolate. And then I started hanging on with them. I started training with them. And they want me to be down. But because I'm an old school, I was like, I don't want to be part of the crew if I don't meet the crew. I want to meet the crew. I want to hang with the crew. I want the crew to battle me in. Guess what? Before closeouts, too, the night before, I had to battle everybody in the crew. The next day was the closeout. So I need to battle the whole crew. I got down that same day. The next day, they closed out. We beat them in the semis. Yeah. Yeah. Hey. W is a W. You know that? But like the good thing about that is like we all was different, but we was the same because we all love to dance. We all learn from each other. We all travel. We all hang out. I had to babysit these three people. So, so it's really like good to have people that got your back and you have their back. And the last time that like we actually did a crew battle was Hip Hop International 2009, and I made a bet with Baba, and I lost, but we won. I'm not gonna go into detail because little kid, but you know, uh, like the crew is all about helping each other grow. You know, fill that gap that there's some people don't have. Like me, I'm a dancer. First, I'm a dancer, then I'm a b-boy. And like really tell you, he thought I was a house dancer, but because the way I moved was different than everybody else. And when I started doing footwork, my footwork pattern was different. And people started looking like, hold up, so you're not doing foundation? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing foundation, but I'm exploring foundation. You have to learn your foundation, but you have to explore. It's a whole world down there. So every time that you take workshop, every time you spend time with people, soak it in. I told Lo, Tabra, and she was like a sponge. I'm like, I don't know what else to teach her. But every time I teach her, she's like, yeah, I got to teach you more. And I'm like, okay, I'm running out. Hold on. Oh, it's like that. We always have to help each other. So if one person from the crew go to another level, we all go to with them. So never be jealous of nobody because we all have our own journey. So that's
That's true. I guess something our crew we carry is that like if you win, we win, right? And if we win, you win. You know, that's something that we always tell each other like, all right, man, if you're gonna do that 1-on-1, you win, we're gonna win too, right? And if we win the 2-on-2, you all win, right? So I guess that's something that I want to touch on.
And if you lose, we grow.
Yeah,
You know, that's the
yeah.
mindset. It's
Yeah.
like we take it as like a a growth lesson and to continue to always just be willing to grow. Okay, so is there anything y'all want to add to yeah?
I would love to add
Yeah.
a little bit to
Yeah.
that.
that.
That was so beautiful. I love that. How do I get in your group?
Hey, you need to add on.
Oh man, you want to retard me, girl? I got you. I wanted to add a little bit of like what the support looks like because I started back in 94, 95. I grew up dancing in general, the New Jack era, swing, that era, that's my era. But my older brother was a b-boy. He's about 7 years older than me. So I've seen it first when I was young. I was probably 8 years old. And my brother and all his homies, they were all like, just, it was like the one thing that they were doing that was positive outside of them finding breaking. But fast forward, I got introduced to it and fell in love with it. But because for me it was survival, just like anybody else, I think the story at the beginnings, Houston was, and where I lived was a very gang influenced area. And so for me, I had a son when I was 16. And so I knew I needed to kind of change my life. And that was the one thing about my life that I recall just being a safe space was being able to dance music, something, my mom cooking the tortillas, the Sinsahan music, and my dad, Motown. So that was music always around and whatnot. But fast forward, I ended up getting down with UZN. We had King Aesop living in Houston for a couple years back in those years, and I got educated on the culture fully, deeply, hard. And although I ended up not staying with that because, of course, I was a young mom, so my story was a little different. Didn't get to travel much at all. But fast forward, I got in a crew early on called 3D, which was my first crew back in Houston. And those guys were young. They were 13, 12. I was already, 17, 18. 16, 17, somewhere around there, and got down with them. But they were the first people that I feel like believed in me. There were younger kids that believed in me. There was one probably other girl in our scene at that time, and I just remember being excited about seeing another girl. But it was the one crew, and eventually I had to move on because again, I'm a young mother. They're young, they're growing up. Fast forward, this is many years later, we ended up creating with me and my best friend Jazzy a crew for moms. She was a mom, we had kids, and Jazzy and Lucky were Texas B Girls that were traveling, putting the B Girls on the map. And we just found a support system within women. Women, either there were moms that their kids were breakers, or they were DJs, or just any other elements of the culture, a part of this cruise that we created called Ill MILFs. It's funny. The acronym is Ill Movement and Lady Flavor. We wanted to change what the joke was of that word to that. We literally have a chat with about 30 women in that chat, mixed with B girls, B girl moms. I mean, you name it, there's a little bit of everybody in there. But we check on each other almost every other week, every week, once a month. Somebody's messaging somebody, hey, I see what you're doing. We're sending you so much love. But it began to be a support system for us. And not everybody's a dancer. Not all of us do, continue to dance, but we wanted to create a movement. So to us, yes, it is a crew, and yes, it's more importantly a movement of moms that we just wanted moms to know that you can continue being a mom, but continue being a part of the culture in general. The other part of that story is that at some point, I got a call around 2016 from Alien Ness in Asia One about getting down with, MZK. And had already pretty much had just these worse injuries. I couldn't keep doing what I was doing, but the love became is producing events. But I just was like, what do you want me in the crew for? Like, I wasn't a battlehead. I wasn't, doing these specific things, at the time where I feel like I didn't deserve to be in that crew, hardcore crew, battle crew. I mean, whatever the case may be. But that was the one thing, meeting Asia in '97, her becoming my sister and my friend, and that's the same thing. But the third thing was that our journey's changing. We're looking for community leaders to help make a change in not only our crew, but our atmosphere and around us and everything that we're doing. And I was like, well, what do I gotta do? I gotta get battled in, or what's happening? I gotta come out of retirement. But here I am, still down with MZK now, and I see the big changes that have gone on with that crew, and I'm so inspired by each and every one of them. I mean, it's a global crew. And if there was anything I could say about just the journey in general, all of it comes back to the support system that everybody gets to have for one another. When I'm feeling down and low, like at the end of the day, I get to have these things that are on my back and my peers and the people around me that keep me going and keep the fire burning to continue to do this for the next generation, because they hold the fabric and the legacy of what's all there. And I get to say I'm a part of that too with them. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that a little bit. Support
So I have this question for you, mine. I know Style Elements is celebrating 32nd year anniversary this year. I wanted to touch base because we're Underground Fully. We're also from the Central Valley, we're from Sacramento.
Yeah.
We're originally based from Sacramento, and I wanted to hear about longevity and crew. Like, what are some things you feel like people should know about longevity and crew? I think it's very important, and you have to be.
Yeah, bless up. I'm from Sac too. I went to kindergarten at Howe Avenue, and I used to live over there off of Arden. And then my mom was from Sacramento, my dad is from Stockton, so I would go ping pong back and forth. So I got raised all throughout the valley and then also the Bay. But cruise, longevity. I mean, it's so deep because like our story is like a movie, and we met each other when we were very young. Like the first guy I started dancing with, Boogie T. We met in middle school, you know, and we were doing the Bell Biv DeVoe New Edition style back then, and Big Daddy Kane. You know, we were just watching music videos together and trying to dance like, you know, we've seen on the music videos. And it turned into a real bond. You know, he would spend the night at my house, I spent the night at his house, you know, and we created a brotherhood from there. You know, we had a lot of dreams. We would just talk a lot about, like, man, imagine if there was a movie about this. Imagine if there's a video game about this. Imagine, and you know, we had a big imagination, and we were also into comic books. We used to collect like X-Men comics, X-Force, and you know, all the Marvel comics and Image when they were coming out, and so a group like X-Men, like, you know, we were like, man, we all got our own superpowers. But we all became real close brothers because even with Crumbs, Donnie, his family, like his mom and grandma gave us a garage to practice in so that we could get good. And they like would literally let these kids like skip school and stay up. Oh, you shouldn't do this, but we skip school and stay up all night and dance and practice and it was just they were a huge support group for us to actually get good. They always facilitated for us, fed us, let us spend the night for multiple days, and I actually ended up living there. And then other people started coming in. Ivan Manriquez, his family, and you know, so it's not just like a crew thing, like, oh, you're cool, let me dance with you. No, it actually extends into like meeting their parents, you know, their parents actually supporting you, you know, giving you gas money, fixing the car when you needed to go to the B-Boy Summit and Battle Rock Steady Crew, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and we were young, we were only like 16, so we didn't even have a license, but the parents let us take the car. You know what I mean? So it was like those kind of things, like the support of the families and believing and seeing how passionate we were about dancing, you know, and hip hop. Not only and crew, you know, everything is revolved around breaking, but a lot of us, we MC, we're graph writers, we're artists, we're poets, we're musicians. We're so it bonds in so many ways, you know, these friendships. But yeah, and then you become family, you become brothers, you know, and then it was our first time we went won championships together, our first time out of the country together. You know, we created a real brotherhood bond, and I think we were one of the first crews actually doing that, right? Like making a way somehow, us young men with determination and seeing and believing breaking is amazing. It should be big. It should be respected. And we were out there just trying to show the world what we had, how much we loved what we were doing. You know, that we were willing to dedicate fully to each other and invest in each other, respect each other. And then, you know, we just kept adding members. People saw that unity, they saw that unity, and everybody that, you know, they see that we take care of each other, you know. And then it extended even to like Joe Coy coming to our house and learning how to do video editing. And we're some crazy kids, man. I mean, crazy genius kids. We were already making videos and learning computers on our own at 16, 17 years old so we could make videos and we could put them out to the entire world. And that was us collectively thinking like, oh, Gons, you're gonna do the design for the shirt and the cover? Okay, we're gonna take that to Kinko's, we're gonna copy it, we're gonna cut these videos up, we're gonna go get the VHS, we're gonna record, stop. You know what I mean? Like, get that one, and then a title maker came out. Oh, we get to put our name on this thing. We will plug that into the TV, and then computers came out. Oh, there's this new computer, a G3, you know, a Mac. Let's get it. And we would invest in each other, like put our money in, you know, and then buy a 3-chip digital camera, buy a computer, learn Final Cut, learn Photoshop and Adobe Illustrator. You know, like this was a group thing. All of us learned it, right? Like we have everybody in the crew know how to do Final Cut and like Photoshop. And, you know, Derek got into it, I got into it, Crumbs got into it, video editing, shooting, marketing. You know, we learned how to market ourselves as Style Elements, you know, and represent hard, you know, to where brands started messing with us, and then those brands started blowing up. You know, so your crew it's a lot. That's what I'm saying. I could say a lot. Your group, your people, the people that you build with, it can extend into so many more things. Making movies, being a part of movies, producing music, producing artwork, murals. It goes off into so many things. So I would just say, you know, a crew is a smart thing to get involved in. Um, it's saved my life on multiple occasions, like where my brothers have been there for me, you know, when I was down and out, and lifted me up, gave me a place to stay, you know, looked out for me, you know what I'm saying? Like when times when I need it. So I will always promote crew chemistry. I will always promote to start a crew, learn about a crew, create a family, create chemistry, and get with people that are like-minded, but people who are equally passionate about what you're passionate about. And oh man, if you find that, it just amplifies. It just amplifies and amplifies. And you know, yeah, so all of us brothers, for a long time, we pushed each other to you know, keep that energy. You know, we held it for, you know, 30, it's really 33 years, but we say 32, you know what I mean?
I love it.
This is kind of off topic, but you know, Style Elements, the myth about you guys lock yourself up in a room and train for hours and hours. Is that true? That's
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Myth is true.
Many,
right?
many times.
yeah, I heard about that. So I was like, whoa, we gotta do something on that.
Yeah, I mean, no, we had our little cipher dojo, you know what I mean? There was a couple of rooms that we would make into those little places, like just like your band, you know, like you would go into that garage or that little room, and that's where we got down, that's where we experimented, that's where we go, hey, look at this, how does this look? Oh, I was thinking about doing a top 90. You know what I'm saying? Let me see, how's that possible? Oh, shoot, how do you do that? You know what I mean? So we were just thinking of all kinds of like ideas and then experimenting. And then, you know, someone like Mikey Ice would be there with the video cameras, you know, recording it. And then we go watch it back and go, oh, okay. You know, so.
Love that. I have a question for all of you, all of y'all up here. We'll go down this way, right? And speaking on crew, my question to all of you guys is, when you represent your crew, what does that look like for you? Whether that's like you going out to battle, you going to, you know, someone calling you out, and they're like, yo, you know, like, what crew you from? Or